Hello, it's me again, your girl Anita Hogan, and it is my video diary about my journey in the diaspora so far. Yes, yes. In my past video, I have given some nice, suggestions. If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, fine. Anyway, the topic we are treating, we've been treating it for the past two videos, is integration. You know, it's like I earlier on said, it's a very, very, very vast area, to talk about. So I could never exhaust everything in, every topic in that area. But I'll try my best, and I will talk about my own experience while integrating in the Western world. Yes, so now, one of the major steps or one of the major tools I decided to equip myself with when I came into the Western world, when I decided to start living in the diaspora, was to learn the language. Yes, I invested a lot of time. I'm still investing a lot of time though, and I'm still learning. So, I invested a lot of time in learning the language. Now, my advice to those of you who are living in a non-English or non-French speaking countries, because in Africa we majorly have two official languages, which is French and English. So if you're living in a country that doesn't speak French or doesn't speak English, I will tell you, and you have to learn the language, I will tell you, one of the things I constantly had to remind myself is, you are an adult. And it is not easy to reboot your brain to start picking up a new language. So I'm going to tell you that if you're an adult, be easy on yourself. Another thing I also kept on telling myself, or my husband also kept on telling me, is be patient. It's a new field. It's a new thing. You have to recondition yourself to start, speaking a language that you've never you don't know anything about it. You don't know, and so be patient. So if you write the exam in this strange foreign language you're learning and you fail, please take it easy on yourself. It is only normal that the process of learning language is by practicing and practicing and practicing. It is not automatic. There is no magical weapon you can just do. Now I'm speaking Dutch. Nay. So be patient with yourself. Now, learning a language comes with one major challenge, and that is where to practice after all the learning that you have done in school. And some people live basically with fellow countrymen. So once you leave school, the language is gone. Or some people like me, once I come home, it's English. Oh, I don't want to hear anything anymore. I just want to relax my brain and communicate in a language my brain recognizes. That kind of a thing. But you still have to practice your language if you want to, learn the language for the purpose of integration. And in Europe, or the Western world, the major challenge is people, do not live a community lifestyle. Like back in Africa where we all live, in like one big family. Here everybody gives everybody their privacy. In fact, sometimes it is very annoying when the kind of privacy where these people go give you, go look, say, please talk to me. So now, how do you learn your language when people are consciously respecting your privacy or giving you distance because that is who they are, that is their culture, that's the only way they understand how to live? I came up with 10 things I did to look for a way to practice my use of language. First and foremost, very difficult, but I did it. I walked up to my neighbors and I introduced myself. And I said, look, this is who I am. I'm new here. I'm blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking for how to survive in this society. Do you have any tips? And luckily for me, the neighbor, one of the neighbors I spoke with had a daughter-in-law that is English. So I got a lot of, advice, books, and tips and everything from her. And she's also a retired teacher. So every now and then she would give me an hour to teach me certain tricks about the language, that kind of a thing. And another thing I did while, looking for a place to practice my language after school is I volunteered. I volunteered with various organizations. But the best organization to volunteer for, no go volunteer for mental people who know, those people no go communicate. Anyway, the people I enjoyed, working with while volunteering, and I really learned a lot. I practiced my language with were children organization. In the parks. They're always looking for people to assist with children and all that. So that, if you have that in your area, I think that's one of the best, because children are so easy and innocent to talk to, and you would learn a lot of new words from them. And another group of people you could learn while volunteering for them is old people. They are so patient, they are not in a hurry to go anywhere, and most of them are lonely, and they are so very happy if they see somebody who comes to see them. They would even read for you, they would tell you some very interesting stories. They would, they would be very patient. You make a mistake, they would correct you, that kind of a thing. So old people's home is very, very good. I also, joined a running club. But I was just practically looking for people to have contact with, so that I can learn the language, I can listen, I can understand how certain words are pronounced, that kind of a thing. I can just be listening to the gossip and all that while learning the language, I'm saying. Anyway, I joined the running club. If you have any favorite sports, why don't you Google, find out if they have anyone in your environment, and join. It will help you to practice your language. And if you have any hobby, like you like to make cake, you like to sew, you like to do jewelry, you just have some nice hobby that you could also Google some association that, or you like to play Scrabble or anything. There are always associations in your neighborhood that you could, Google to find out if you could become a member. It will also help you to practice your use of language. Now, another way that I also practice my languages, at least 60% of the television I watched was local TV. Yes, it is difficult and it can be boring sometimes, but it helps me a lot. So if you find it, you could also learn a lot, like pronunciations and idiomatical expressions and their meaning and all that. So those are just the few tips I can give you for now, because the tips are endless, but I really have to keep it as brief as possible, otherwise I'll start boring you. Okay, if you have out there some interesting tips to give, or something nice to share with people, something that somebody would use, please share. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Share. Okay, now, thought tracks. That's what we're talking about for Netherlands.